$2.1 billion, one private company, zero approved drugs. That is the headline from Isomorphic Labs this week, and today we are going to break down what it actually means. Welcome back. Today we are covering one of the most significant fundraisers in the history of AI-driven drug discovery. Isomorphic Labs, the DeepMind spin-out known as ISO, closed a $2.1 billion Series B on May 12, 2026. The round was led by Thrive Capital, and the investor list includes some names that tell a very specific story about where the smart money thinks this space is going. Let us start with the basics. ISO was spun out of DeepMind and became its own alphabet company in 2021. The company is built around a platform called ISO-DDE, the Isomorphic Drug Design Engine, which descends from the AlphaFold protein folding architecture. The premise is that generative AI applied at the molecular level can fundamentally change how drugs are designed, cutting time and failure rates in ways that traditional pharma R&D cannot match. That is the pitch. The question investors are answering with $2.1 billion is whether they believe it. Here is what makes this round structurally unusual. Thrive Capital led the Series A as well, back in April 2024, at roughly $600 million. Thrive coming back to lead again at a massive markup is not typical venture behavior. It suggests they ran a fresh diligence cycle with access to internal platform data and decided the price step-up was justified. Total disclosed equity raised by ISO now sits at about $2.7 billion. The post-money valuation was not formally disclosed, but reporting puts it in the $15 to $20 billion range. That number is striking because ISO has not yet published Phase 2 human data on any internal candidate. The entire valuation is a thesis on the platform, not the pipeline. For context, the article notes that this puts ISO at roughly 5 to 10 times the next largest AI bio comparable by market value. Now look at the other names on the cap table. Alphabet and GV returning makes sense. They incubated this company. But the new entrants are where things get interesting. MGX is the Abu Dhabi AI investment vehicle, the same one that anchored the BlackRock Global AI Infrastructure Partnership. Temasek is Singapore's sovereign wealth fund. Capital G, the late-stage Alphabet vehicle, joined alongside the parent, which is a signal that the company is moving toward a growth-stage capital structure, the kind that precedes an IPO or a very large late-stage round. And then there is the UK Sovereign AI Fund. ISO is London-headquartered, and the British government putting its own capital into the round is industrial policy expressed through a cap table. It also has downstream consequences. Sovereign capital affects who can acquire the company later and how inbound investment gets screened. That is not an abstract concern. It shapes exit optionality in real and concrete ways. On the partnership side, ISO has deals with Novartis, Eli Lilly, and Johnson & Johnson. The Novartis deal from January 2024 included $37.5 million upfront, with about $1.2 billion in milestone payments. The Lilly deal, signed the same month, came in at $45 million upfront and roughly $1.7 billion in downstream biobucks. The J&J terms are not fully public. The upfronts are meaningful, but do not move the needle at ISO's estimated annual burn of $300 to $500 million. The milestones only convert to real revenue if candidates advance through trials. One more structural point worth flagging. There is no pharma corporate venture equity anywhere on this round. No Pfizer Ventures, no Lilly Ventures, no Novartis funds. That appears to be deliberate. Keeping pharma strategics off the cap table preserves clean M&A optionality. If someone wants to buy ISO later, there is no incumbent sitting at the table with a conflict. The full paid analysis goes much deeper. It covers the ISO-DDE engine in real technical detail, the competitive comparison against Recursion, Schrödinger, and in sitro, the burn rate and runway math, the IPO scenarios, and what this all means for pharma strategy and biotech investors. Subscribe to On Healthcare for the full paid analysis. Link is below. If you found this useful, hit subscribe here too, and we will see you on the next one.